Hey y'all, Rob and Nicole here with another vlog for you guys. This is going to be a really awesome cook with me video. I've never used any kind of meal kit before, but that's what I'm going to be doing for dinner tonight. So I picked up this meal kit from Lowe's grocery store. This is the maple glazed salmon with garlic, broccolini, and almond coriander couscous. Like I said, I've never used any kind of boxed dinner like this before. Usually I actually do quite a bit of stuff from scratch, but I'm excited to try this and to see what all the hype is about. So inside this box I have everything I need to make this amazing dish. So opening it up here, right on top I have all of the instructions I need. I'm going to set those aside for just a minute. You guys can see the salmon's not in there. I already took it out and de-thawed it because I did have that in the freezer earlier. But inside of here we've got our broccolini, we've got our maple glaze, almonds, our ground coriander, shallots and garlic, and of course our couscous. So as you can see right on here, it shows that it only takes about 35 minutes to make this meal. So we're going to see how true that is, but I'm going to start with chopping up my garlic, halving and peeling my shallots. And I don't want to make this too long for you guys, so here it is now. And here it is, freshly diced and freshly sliced. So next up here, place a saucepan over high heat, add some olive oil and all the coriander. So we're going to start off with that, and then when the oil gets hot, we're going to stir in the couscous and get it nice and toasty. So I've got my pan here, and it's a little wet just because I used it earlier today and just rinsed it out real quick from doing pasta in it. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on to a high heat, if I can use the correct burner here, and we're going to let that get warm and add in our olive oil. When I cook, I don't usually measure out things like oil and seasonings, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. If I'm baking, I measure everything out very carefully because that makes a difference, but in cooking it really doesn't make that big of a difference. It did give me this pre-measured out thing of coriander, so I'm just going to open this up and dump it in. My oil is already getting hot. I'm trying to kind of mix the coriander in there with the oil a little better, but I'm going to go ahead and stir in the couscous. Couscous, that's what I'm trying to say. The couscous. This stuff. In it goes. And then we're just going to kind of stir that around with my spoon here until it's nice and toasty, and then we will add in our water. So couscous is about ready for the water. This is something that I am going to go ahead and measure out because couscous cooks up kind of like rice, so you want to make sure you got the right consistency. You don't want it too dry or too moist. And along with the water, we're going to add in half of our garlic and then just salt and pepper. So all that is added in there, and I'm going to move on to the next step. So with my smaller pan over here, I'm going to go ahead and put it on medium high. And then we are going to toast up our almonds. So my pan is heating up here, and all I have to do is add in these already pre-measured, pre-chopped almonds. So easy. And I want to just show you guys here, you are doing this in a dry pan, just trying to get these nice and toasty. So I'm just going to kind of try and mix these up, get them nicely toasted. These don't really look any more toasty, but the fragrance is really coming out very strong right now, and they are getting much more soft than they are crunchy, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these off the heat now and go on to the next step. So these are just going to go in here for now, and then in the same pan I'm going to go ahead and add in some more olive oil and the rest of my garlic. So that is simmering up nicely. We're just going to set that aside and switch over to this new fresh clean pan, and that is going well. Everything is looking good so far. So in our larger pan here, we are going to add some olive oil and start cooking our salmon, which should be thoroughly de-thawed by now. and this is Atlantic salmon from Chile. So the oil, it hasn't started boiling it yet, but it is hot, so I went ahead and placed those on. We're just going to cook those for a few minutes, flip them, cook them for a few minutes, flip them again, and then we are going to add in our shallots. We have a nice sizzle on these right now. I'm going to leave them in for about 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to begin to flip them. My couscous is still going well back there. Garlic is really absorbing into that oil. It's becoming very flavorful, and this is ready to flip. I gotta be careful because that hot grease is popping up at me. But that's exactly what we want, that nice golden brown color. Beautiful. We're gonna give it about 2 minutes on that side, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I'm about to flip these back over. We're going to reduce down to medium heat and add in our shallots. So I've reduced it down. It's going to take a minute for it to really cool down. The heat's still bubbling, but it became a really beautiful, nice golden brown on that side, which is exactly what I want. So next goes in all this good stuff. So we're just going to give this a few minutes to cook. We just want that shallot to get nice and opaque, and then we're going to take this off the heat and we're going to move back to this pan in our broccolini. This is looking so beautiful right now, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is take it off the heat. I'm going to move it back over here and just let that keep cooking in those oils without any heat on, and we're going to move this pan over here and move on to step 7, which is cooking the broccolini. So I've got the broccolini in there on high heat. I probably should have used a larger pan than I did, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to toss all this in that nice garlic oil. Make sure it's all cooked nice and evenly. So that's still cooking, but I'm going to move on to step 8 real quick and start folding the almonds into the couscous because that is about done. So I've set these aside and I'm just going to add these back in, and I'm going to grab my spoon over here and just fold those in and make sure it's all in there nice and even. So that is nicely tossed in. Broccolini, I've been mixing it up. I'm still going to give it a little bit longer to absorb all that good garlic flavor. I'm going to move on to step 9, which is to add the maple glaze onto my salmon. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of nicely coat my salmon here. And then we're going to add some water to the pan, turn the heat back on, and flip it to make sure we get a nice coat over all of it. That smells so good. I'm going to go ahead and just flip these a couple times just to make sure that they are well coated with all that nice yummy maple juice. Everything is off the heat. Of course, I still have hot surfaces here, but I'm going to go ahead and take it on to the last step and plate it up. So here is that final product. So we've got our almond coriander couscous, our garlic broccolini, and our maple glazed salmon. And there's plenty left over for another serving, so I'm going to let the rest cool down and then pack it up to take with me for lunch tomorrow. But let's go have dinner. That was so good, you guys, and I cannot wait to have it again for lunch tomorrow. I've already got it packed up here, and I'm just going to put a lid on that and put it in the fridge to take to work with me tomorrow. Once again, this is my first time trying a box dinner, and honestly, I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. This was so simple, so easy. I love that everything's pre-measured out for you. I specifically picked this meal out because it is something that I would normally eat to begin with, but I usually wouldn't do the coriander with the couscous, so it was a little different from something I would usually do, but I wanted to do something I was kind of familiar with just to see how different it was with the box kit, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought it would. It's really nice just having those simple step-by-step instructions for you. I usually don't do salmon on the oven, or on the stovetop. I usually do it in the oven, but I think I will start doing it on the stovetop from now on, just for that nice golden brown color, because you just can't match that in the oven, and it's still cooked all the way through. So yeah, I'm super excited that I tried this. I'll probably pick up some more of these ones from Lowe's, and if you have suggestions for your favorite dinner meal kits, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. Again, leave me some comments down below. I love to hear your feedback. When you subscribe, make sure to hit that bell to turn on your notifications to make sure you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you all again soon. Bye!